Okay, so this is going to be a real short video on phase changes, and I know we've already looked at this diagram. I know that this is not new, but there's a thing that I need to emphasize in order for our next unit to make sense, and so I wanted to do that now. We've looked at this graph, and we've looked at solid and liquid and gas, and we can see where we have melting and freezing and vaporization and condensing. And so we've looked at these phase changes and we've done all of them, and we can see here that we have sublimation and deposition. What we need to see is that our normal boiling point occurs at a specific pressure. So if we're looking at 1 atm, let's just say that this is 1 atm here, okay, which is our normal standard pressure, then this point here would be 0 degrees Celsius, and this point here would be 100 degrees Celsius. If I were to change the pressure, and in fact to lower the pressure, so let's look here, if I were to lower the pressure like I would at high altitude, what do I notice about the boiling point? Well, it's less than 100. So my boiling point is less at a lower pressure, which is we think of as a higher elevation, but it could just be as a lower pressure. So that's where this definition is going to be key when we get to our next unit. You're going to need to know this definition. The definition of boiling point is when the vapor pressure of the liquid is equal to the atmospheric pressure. So if you can think of some sort of beaker of water here, and there's always little gas bubbles, sort of trapped vapor. At a certain point, so there's an atmospheric pressure pushing down, and there's sort of a vapor pressure pushing up. When these two are equal, these are allowed to leave. And in fact, when the vapor pressure is higher, they're definitely allowed to leave. But when these two are equal, this is when boiling occurs. And so this is going to become important for our next unit on colligative properties, because we're going to look at things that are going to change boiling points. So it's important that we know this definition of boiling point, just like we know the definition of temperature to be a measure of the average kinetic energy.